We first meet Sakura, the main character in Windbreaker, as he balances on a tightrope in total darkness, while strangers make disparaging remarks about him, primarily because of his appearance, which leads them to believe he is a delinquent. He is disturbed by the images that seem to follow him when he abruptly awakens from this nightmare. The action shifts to a busy Tonpu shopping street with graffiti-covered walls. We witness some gang members harassing a woman as Sakura describes his love for the strong and his disdain for the weak. Sakura opportunely steps in and offers them a taste of his flaming blows. He identifies himself to the unconscious bodies on the ground as Haruka Sakura from Furin High School. To the surprise of Sakura's hot, flushed face, the woman stops him as he is about to leave and thanks him for the opportunity to join her for dinner. She identifies herself as Kotoha and offers him some omuris. It becomes clear from Kotoha that up until a few years ago, the town was plagued by turf wars and gang activity. In contrast to Sakura's earlier encounters, Kotoha does not make assumptions about him and is actually intrigued by his half-and-half appearance. The fact that he physically assaults people does not frighten her either. It is also revealed that Sakura came to Furin in order to battle his way up the ranks of the notoriously troubled school. While they talk, an old man walks out the restaurant, and Sakura hands him his bag that he forgot to take with him. Later, Kotoha mentions that he won't be able to climb up the ladder at Furin because he is alone. The same gang members later return to wreak havoc by smashing glasses and destroying stores. People lock themselves in their houses and make phone calls to strangers. Sakura charges onto the gang and starts fighting, recalling Kotoha's remark about being alone. Sakura tries to protect Kohota after she is kidnapped, but it impairs his fighting skills. An unidentified man shows up and defends them just as he is about to be struck by a baseball bat. Students from Furin arrive and stylishly fight the remaining gang members, riding on cheers of the residents. Sakura is shocked when Kotoha tells her that the town changed and became peaceful as a result of Furin students starting to defend the locals. In the neighborhood, they posted a warning sign. The residents lovingly refer to them as Bofurin. In episode 2 of Windbreaker, Sakura is frustrated when a grandma uses him as a piggyback ride while they go into Kotoha's restaurant. Inside, Kotoha makes a tasty sandwich and playfully teases Sakura, who blushes easily at her jokes. As they joke around, Nirei, a new first-year student with bright yellow hair, stumbles in and falls flat on his face. He's very excited about Furin and acts like a fanboy. Nirei notices the color of Sakura's hair and makes a funny assumption that Sakura's white hair is from stress. This annoys Sakura even more, but Nirei goes on to rave about how the students at Furin are heroes. When he asks Sakura why he came to the town, Sakura says he wants to be at the top. Nirei adds a funny comment that if Sakura tries too hard, he might go bald, referring again to Sakura's white hair. Sakura talks to Kotoha after Nirei leaves, expressing his frustration about people like Nirei who seem tough on the outside but are weak on the inside. Kotoha uses an analogy about coffee beans to help Sakura see things differently. She explains that just like coffee fruit is red before it becomes the brown bean, people often have more going on beneath the surface. As Sakura walks through town, the local people shower him with gifts to thank him for his help. During this, a girl asks him for help. We learn that Nirei has been trying to stand up to some bullies who are bothering her. Just as the bullies are about to hurt Nirei, Sakura jumps in and quickly takes them down. Nirei is amazed, but feels guilty for being weak. He shares his past. revealing that he was bullied in middle school until a kind student from Furin came to his rescue. He wants to be like the heroes he admires from Furin. Hearing this touches Sakura's heart, and he recalls Kotoha's advice. He assures Nirei that he's not lame. The girl thanks both of them for their help. In that moment, Nirei finds his first friend in Sakura. Sakura and Nirei head to Furin for their first day of school. Nirei is excited to see his favorite fighters in their class, but is worried about one really tough student. When they walk into that classroom, a friendly guy named Suo makes jokes while welcoming them. To their surprise, Suo is actually cheerful and enjoys playing pranks, which is not what Nirei expected from a school filled with delinquents. Everything seems fun until a rough-looking student named Kyotaro hurls a table at them, ready to challenge Sakura to a fight. Episode 3 of Windbreaker starts with Sakura and Sugishita getting into a fight. Suo explains that Sugishita is a big fan of Bafurin's leader and other members. He loved the group so much in middle school that he was the only one allowed to call himself a member. So when Sakura said he wanted to be on top, Sugishita took it as an attack on his hero, which sparked the fight. However, in a surprising turn, Sakura manages to kick Sugishita, and their fight is interrupted by an announcement. It's Bafurin's representative, Hajime Umemiya. Everyone stops to show their respect. Umemiya tells the newcomers to enjoy their time and to avoid fighting on the first day, while also reminding them to protect the town. The scene is quite amusing, as Sugishita nods eagerly like a devoted fan, and tries to clean the blood off his face because his idol, Umemiya, has asked everyone to be peaceful. Suo helps to settle things down, and Sakura and Sugishita agree to a truce, shaking hands with a bit too much emotion. Sakura's classmates cheer him on for his fighting skills, making him feel appreciated and like he belongs. He smiles, feeling at home. At this point, their seniors call them out. They meet Hiragi, who oversees Sakura's class, chiding them for being late while counting the seconds. Sakura recognizes him as the person who saved him and Kotoha. When someone mentions Kotoha, Hiragi quickly silences them. It turns out that Kotoha and Umemiya have some connection, because Hiragi warns that if Umemiya hears Kotoha is in danger, he will be in big trouble, and jokingly takes some stomach medicine called Gaskun. Meanwhile, Nirei humorously notes down the details about Gaskun in his Bafurin journal. This scene is filled with great comedy and timing. Nirei then tells Sakura about the structure of Bafurin. Under Umemiya, who is the head, there are 4 kings, each in charge of a class in every grade. Hiragi is one of those 4 kings and manages Sakura's class. He explains that Bafurin is based on the 4 heavenly kings, and Sakura's class is part of the Taman team. The classes with their captains head out to patrol the town, which disappoints Sakura since he expected some action. He finds it even funnier that their job only involves repainting walls covered in graffiti for shopkeepers. The group reaches one side of the town, separated by a tunnel. Nirei urgently stops Sakura from crossing into the tunnel, explaining that it marks the boundary between Bafurin and another team called Shishitoran. Unlike Bafurin, Shishitoran is tough, as their name means devotees of power. After the recent episode, Hiragi finds himself downing a handful of Gaskun pills. At this moment, the group sees a student from their side of the town with a swollen eye and being chased by members of Bafurin. Sakura and Sugishita immediately react and kick one of the members, much to the horror of everybody watching. Amidst this tussle, one of the most powerful fighters and second in command of Shishitoran enter, Joe Togam. Unlike his aura, He also seems chill until he starts brutally beating the teammate who was kicked by the Furin duo for being weak. Sakura almost picks a fight with Togame, but he leaves saying that he would beat Sakura at an appropriate place, and leaves. They drag the battered middle schooler to report to Umemiya, and as the group steps onto the rooftop, they're met with an unexpected sight. A cheerful Umemiya busily tending to his vegetable garden. It's a stark contrast to the typical image of a gang leader. Suo can't help but comment that he looks like a kid in kindergarten, and as the episode wraps up, the rest of the group stares in disbelief at Umemiya's surprisingly light-hearted demeanor.